Hey guys, Helen Hartsmith here again from the Heart of the Witch's Path YouTube channel, and today, a book review. I've been doing quite a bit of reading lately and making my way through some books, so I'm pretty excited about that little thing. Chooking some things off my goal list for this year. This video is going to be all about this book, The New Aradia. A Witch's Handbook to Magical Resistance that is edited by Laura Tempest Zakroff. I said it right. Yay! So this is a book that came out at the tail end of last year. So we've got a 2018 copyright date. The actual text for this particular book is 94 pages, but then there's some additional information that take us up to just over 100. And so we have a selling price of, I don't remember, it's not on here. I want to say that this book was around $15. So kind of on the high side for how thin it is because, yeah, it's a baby. But honestly, for me, it was worth it. So this is a collection of articles that all have a theme of resistance to them. None of the articles, I think, are more than like 4 pages, 4 of, this size pages long. And so actually what I did with this particular book was I read an article, at least an article, before I went to sleep every night, and that's how I got through it. So, I didn't count how many articles exactly there were, but it took me about a month. And sometimes if the article was like super short, like a page, I might read 2. So, but I did at least 1 a night before I went to bed. And so I was able to get through it quite quickly. The typeset is pretty small, so I was a little concerned about that because these eyes are getting a little old and don't want to function so well. But anyhow, we have, there's articles in here by some more known people within the community. There's one by Christopher Penzak in here. There's Devin Hunter and Storm Fairy Wolf are in here. As I mentioned already, the book is edited by Laura Tempest Zakroff, and she contributes numerous sigils throughout the pages of the book. And she has, I think she's got weaving, I think it's called Weaving Liminal, I think is the title of her newest book. And she's also the author of Sigil Witchery, which I'm currently reading and really enjoying. And she's done, I believe she did one, yeah, she did The Witch's Cauldron from the recent Llewellyn Witch's Tool series, and she co-authored The Witch's Altar with Jason Mankey. So she's got some interesting stuff out there. Now, so we've got those guys with articles, and we have some some up-and-comers. Matt Oren has a few articles in here, and if you if you are a reader on Patheos Pagan, geez, I can't even formulate my words. He has a blog on Patheos Pagan called For Puck's Sake, and he has a really interesting sounding book that's coming out from Llewellyn, I believe, this year. So keep an eye out for that name, Matt Oren. And Lisa Bland, another fellow Temple of Witchcraft person, she has a article within here as well. So the articles all have to do with resistance in some capacity. And so I was really getting into it and reading these articles, I was really inspired by a lot of people. And so I'm trying to go down through here and see. Laura Tempest Zakroff actually wrote a new charge for the Aradia. Well, it's a charge for the charge of the new Aradia. And so I thought that was interesting to read. let's see, what have we got? What other ones? I'm trying to look at the titles. The Spirit of Rebellion by Matt Oren. Aradia in the New Millennium by Storm Fairy-Wolf. Witchcraft Medicine for the Soul of the Land and People. That's the article by Christopher Penczak. 9 Garden Allies, Plants for Talismans, Spells, and Actions. That was really interesting. There's an article in here by Ivo Dominguez Jr., Calming the Inner Storm Spell. So it was interesting because it's a series of essays. There is ritual work in here. There is spell work in here. As I mentioned earlier, there is sigils that Laura did. This here is a sigil for the housing crisis. So let me get it in here. I like how she set it up. So she's got this sigil, and then she has listed here the elements that she put into creating the sigil. And I thought that was really interesting. And then what to do with this sigil. So for this one, this sigil is an especially good one to apply to physical locations because it's dealing with the housing crisis. So I thought that was really neat. So there's just a little bit of everything wonderfully witchy in this book, and so it was a joy to read it. I felt, like I said, I felt inspired. There's a really, really interesting spell to reclaim your sovereignty in here that I'm interested in performing for myself. There is a blood moon eclipse ritual. There is a prayer to the Great Mother. And I'm not saying who wrote these. Crap, let me come back really quick. So the spell to reclaim your sovereignty is by Deborah Castellano. The blood moon eclipse ritual is by Irina Zara. I hope I'm pronouncing some of these. The prayer to the Great Mother is by Jay Logan. I want to say, if I remember correctly, that had a very interesting Native American flair to the wording, if I'm remembering correctly. Hand to hand, heart to heart. Yeah, it was really, really cool. So really, there's a lot of stuff in here that can appeal to different people. Now, some folks might not dig the fact that it's about resistance, because there's actually a spell in here for justice. If I remember correctly, and things like that. Some people might be kind of put off by that whole resistance and pushing against, whatever. But I think it's done very tastefully, first of all. Secondly, I think that, in this day and age, we need to take a stand for what we think is right. And sometimes those lines might feel a little blurred, and sometimes maybe we need a little magical help to kind of determine what's right and what's not. I really, really enjoyed this book. It traveled well. The small size actually was a plus for me. You can throw something like this in a bag or a purse and take it with you, which I actually kind of did. I actually took this on vacation with me and still continued to read my article every day. And so I wish we would see more like this coming out of our new age. Well, I don't even think that it's just a new age thing. I think that this is definitely something for the masses, but of course this happens to be, a witchy slant. This comes from Revelor Press, which that is a new publishing company that I'm not completely familiar with. To my knowledge, I don't know that I have anything else from that company, but if this is what they're doing, I like what they're doing, and I say let's keep it up. So I really struggled to find this book, and maybe it's because it's from a company that is small or maybe new or whatever. I'm not really sure. If anybody has any information on the publishing company, then let me know or let us know. I will probably go have a look and see what I can find out about them. But I really wanted to purchase this from a local New Age store, bookstore, and I couldn't find it, and I ended up having to order it off of Amazon. And as you know, if you watch the channel, I try to purchase small businesses as much as possible, and of course encourage everyone else to do so as well. I really, really liked this book. I highly recommend it. At under 100 pages, it's a quick read, and it's probably somebody that, somebody who has a quick reading ability would probably polish it off in a day or two. I mean, I just drew it out a little bit. I was reading this along with other books. So totally worth it. I say, pick it up if you haven't done so already. I'm going to give this 5 stars. I think that this is something that we need to see in more. This is a great way for new authors to get recognized and to get people out there that, know their name, see their work, and things like this. I loved it. I highly recommend it. And of course, there will be a link in the description box to go purchase it on Amazon. But again, I highly recommend that you try to find it in a store. You might not be able to, but give it a shot, okay? If you enjoyed this video or learned something from it, please give it a thumbs up. I will keep doing book reviews as long as you guys want me to, or keep watching them. How's that? So if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. It's red and it's down in that area somewhere. I don't know. That's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and thanks for walking the path for a little while with me. Until next time, blessed be.